Hello, ladies and gents, and welcome back to another episode of the Silent Majority Media podcast. With myself, Maurice Fitz of the Long Acre, and I'm sitting here today with Maria Phelan from Laois Organic. Some of you would know her as on Instagram. Maria is an organic dairy farmer from Laois, who is one of...
Dairy beef and tillage.
Dairy beef and tillage. But you are one of Ireland's only female farmers operating organic dairy farm on a robotic system. Am I right in saying that?
I've been told.
You've been told.
I've been told.
So, if you know someone else, please write in the comments.
Bring it on.
Bring it on. Competition. Maria, we'll get to the farming part, but I suppose I want to find out what got you into farming. Obviously, other than you must have grown up on a farm, did you?
I grew up on a dairy farm and a beef farm. My father had bought a farm with money that he earned over in America and came home and met my mother in a bar in Middleton. How they put it, love at first sight, quite literally, and they were a true partnership on the farm.
Right, besotted with each other.
Besotted with each other and worked and lived and died for each other.
That is beautiful.
Yeah.
And of course, you were one of the outcomes of being besotted with each other.
One. I was
you were
the last one.
How many were in it?
I had three brothers,
right?
And there's 10 years between me and my eldest brother.
All right. Well, still, it's a bit of a gap, but it's not massive compared to some families.
But then there's 7 years between my third brother and myself.
All right.
Yeah.
You were a last
quite
blessing.
Literally the last blessing, and the only female born in the generation.
All
as
right.
well. On both sides, my mother's family and my father's family. So I was like, what does a girl Lynch look like for all my cousins?
Yes, I know. Yeah. There was nothing to reference off of.
Yeah.
And I suppose, so from a young age you were out helping. Were you dairy at the time? Did you have cows? Or?
There was dairy and beef. So the first farm my dad bought was a dairy farm. And after that, then he got the opportunity to buy a second farm about 3 miles over the road.
Right.
And that turned into eventually a beef farm where it was pedigree, cemental and Charlie cattle.
Okay, right.
And I suppose my first memory of farming would have been, unfortunately, my father had bought that farm, that second farm, not long before the interest rates went through the roof.
Right.
So whatever he borrowed at, that was multiplied by 7 interest rates.
Yes,
so he had to try and keep that and survive and keep it, and eventually did. But I do remember us walking the dairy cows those 3 miles over and back twice a day to keep it working.
Yeah, to keep it working, to make
whatever
it worthwhile.
The story was, whether he had, because I was young, I was just probably 5,
right.
Running ahead of the cows with my older brother to block gaps.
Yeah.
As you're going along those 3 miles. And you could do it back then. Like.
You could, yeah.
You couldn't do it now.
But that was also a time, I suppose, where land to purchase was more accessible to farmers, because if you could say to yourself, if I plant a crop, that crop was equal to this and that was equal to the land.
Yeah.
Like they used to say, was it an acre, supposed to buy an acre land one time? It was something thereabouts. Whereas that's nowhere near the case nowadays.
No, you can't do it now. And even those who are, interested and educated in agriculture, to be able to purchase land is an impossibility.
Yeah.
I scrimped and saved because I knew land nearby me was going to come up for sale, and I was able to buy it.
Yeah.
And I'm able to keep it. But you will work yourself to the bone to be able to take on an opportunity like that. But for somebody now who's, like I said, educated and have a love for farming and animals, to get into it is very difficult. But I do know that there's it's like a Tinder for farmers.
Yes.
So somebody who's hasn't got the opportunity to buy or work on a farm or own a farm, they're paired up with an older farmer who doesn't have family who are interested but want to keep the land in a farming way. So when they pass, that farm there is worked by somebody and will be kept, even though it's not in their name.
Yes.
And it's a great opportunity for somebody. Now, I don't know the full details. I just know that it's like Teagasco working it.
Yeah. No, the partnerships. A friend of mine and myself looked into it about 10 years ago. And it was going to be viable, but only if you went into dairying.
Possibility is that.
Yeah. I don't know what the case is now.
The majority of those farms are so hard in labour and hard for the farmer who's, too old to run it anymore. Yeah. That young blood to be brought in. They have to prove themselves. I had to prove myself. Yeah. When I started farming.
Of course.
Even though, like, you know, the farm is both my husband's and my own. I was working in finance for this complete switch now of you know, from what you asked. But here, it's going to just go as it goes. Tough shit, lads.
Yeah.
But the whole idea of, you know, I didn't want to get into the farm without proving myself on our own farm, even though, you know, my husband and I own it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But I was working in finance for 15 years and I took parental leave with my eldest child.
Who is now?
Of 6 weeks, who's now 21.
He's 21,
nearly.
right? Nearly.
And I took those 6 weeks off and I worked on the farm. My husband's working a normal day-to-day job and still is. But I was like, okay, I can do this. And at that time, we were a beef suckler.
Okay.
We were organic.
Right. So you were already gone into the organic line?
We were in organics 16 years now.
Okay. So you were one of the very kind of early...
No.
No?
No.
But you were still there.
There are organic
early
farmers
days.
there 30 years.
Right.
Maybe longer. But, you know, the certification process, I can't remember when that came in. Could be 25 years, could be 30 years ago.
Right.
But I probably commercial-wise and, you know, to the scale that we were when we started.
Yes.
In organics, probably one of the first few.
Yeah, I get you. I get you what you're saying.
But anyway, so where was I?
We were on about finance, but I'm going to pull you back 1 second.
Yeah,
and I'm going to ask you, I suppose, more about what really... So you explained, like, your dad was a hard-working man.
Yeah.
And he was a risk taker.
Yeah.
He takes risks. I'm someone who bought land, but not a lot of it.
Okay.
Because I didn't have a farm at home.
Yeah.
And I know whether if you're buying 10 acres or 110 acres, it's still a big undertaking depending on what you can do with it. And you watched that growing up. You obviously got a serious work ethic off both your father and your mother. And your grandparents, I'm sure, had some influence in there.
I
as
never
well.
Met them, so I didn't know them. They were all dead before I was gone.
That's, some people will tell you that's an unfortunate thing, but other people will tell you it could be a fortunate thing depending on your grandparents, you know. But I'm sure they were lovely people. But
my mother was 40 when she had me, so.
All right.
Yeah, back then it was like whatever. I was 30 when I had my second child, and I was asked, you know, do you want to have a whatever procedure to check the whatever fluid around the child?
I think the class of geriatric pregnancy now is at 35 or that.
I don't know, but either way, I was like looking at her going, I'm only fucking 30. Like my mother's 40 when she had me, so get over it. No, that's not happening.
Yes.
But yeah, it is. Look, that's a different conversation. But
I suppose so. Like you grew up again. I want to just get back to because I think it's always interesting, and I know from my own thing what gave me the love of it. You know, it's watching. You were watching your parents. I watched my uncle, my grandmother, my grandfather. You know, it's the little details in everyday life that influence you to want to be in farming. Like, it's not just one particular thing. Sometimes, some people, it's the livestock, it's the machinery, it's just the freedom.
Yeah.
More than anything. And I suppose you said you went into finance. So, like, you went to school, you went to college, you went into finance. But that's all very constrictive. So is that what the farm is to you, that you are fully independent in yourself, and if you fuck up, it's your problem?
Yeah, I was hard to work with.
Yes.
My co-workers in the bank were a little afraid of me, and they would have admitted that to me about a month or two after they got to know me.
Right.
I would have been used as a person to train in other people.
Yes.
And I guess my ethos was, you know, you either you learn quick, you do.
Yeah.
And some people who couldn't learn quick, I had a lot of patience for. But if they couldn't learn after you've showed them 4 or 5 times,
clap on the back of the head.
It wasn't. It was a conversation with the boss to say, I don't think they're clicking in.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm having a conversation with the person trying to train in.
Yeah.
And telling them, is it a brain block, or do you just not want to do this job?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it was generally, I just don't want to do this job. And I said, fine, that's grand. And walk in with the boss with them and explain the situation. It's not constrictive. I would never have found the 9 to 5 constrictive. Right. Okay? It was just a love of nature, a love of animals, and that overtook my 9 to 5.
Yeah.
And I wanted after, because I was hard to work with. The only reason I was hard to work with is because I was good at my fucking job.
Yeah, of course, yeah. You were by the book. And efficient, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just, that's... That's bigging me
Yeah,
up, but that's
yeah.
the fucking truth of
Yeah,
it, because
yeah,
I was told it over and over again, you know. And then if there was a point in time where you were having a meeting with your boss and they were giving you your grade 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, I was there with my paperwork to prove that I could get a 5 grade,
Yeah,
which was a good
you
grade.
came with the receipts, like.
And I only did that when they would first say, well, I think you're deserving of a grade 3. And I'd go, well, prove it to me. Out with the book.
Was the banking sector hard to be in?
Very. And I ended up going into part of the banking sector when the bust happened.
Okay.
I have 2 children. One is my boom baby and one is the bust baby. The minute he was born, banks bust.
Right.
But I was in a bank
what I'm going to say
that
about this
didn't
is
need the pull out.
we're going to talk about the banking because I'm interested to hear your thoughts in the comparisons, I suppose, of working in the banking versus working in the farming.
There's very little I can talk about in the bank.
I know there's nothing you can say, but it's more about what I'd like to ask you is, what do you think is better? This is going to sound like a sexist comment. It kind of is, and it's kind of not.
Yeah, go on.
But as a mother, what was better for you and for your family and your health and stuff when you were working in the bank versus working on the farm? And I'm going to get you to answer that in the second part.
That's
right?
Yeah.
But I suppose for young women watching you today that watch you on Instagram and they see you doing it all, you do be out mulching, you're out calving, you're doing all the bits. Do you think farming is getting well represented by female farmers in Ireland, or is it being overly pushed about female farmers in Ireland? There's a grind your gear sometimes when they make a big deal of it, whereas you're just there for, sure, look, you're just doing it.
No, anybody's perspective is their own perspective when it comes to what they show online. I don't judge. I just swipe.
Yeah, you just swipe by it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
In relation to when you're talking, what does bug me in relation to women and farming is female farming is, I think, I'm not trying to choose my words carefully, I'm actually trying to think of what I want to say.
Yeah. Take your time.
There's no difference between a man and a woman farming, just the ability to be able to do certain jobs on the farm.
Yeah.
I am not strong enough to do jobs that you can do.
Yeah.
What I used to do was I would call them my weekend jobs.
Yes.
So when my husband was home,
yes,
and the days were long, he'd do in the evening, so I had my list of evening jobs and I had my list of weekend jobs. So the jobs that I couldn't do, that was his jobs to do for me.
Yeah.
Like there could be, these solid galvanized gates.
Yeah, of course, they're heavy.
Fucking, what are they, 6 foot long or 8 foot long?
More, some 10 and 12 foot long,
10. And that you wouldn't be able to fucking move on your own.
Yeah.
You could maybe lift one end of it to take it out of the way, but there's no way you could do the whole fucking gate yourself.
Yeah.
Then you'd be, this is where you're talking about the discovery of different machinery that are used on tractors, like pure desperation. Farmers invented those machines because they couldn't do it on their own.
Yeah.
So you'd find ways to do jobs like that, but obviously
there's some of the setbacks you can find.
Yeah, so when women who are farming say you can do it all yourself, you fucking can't.
Well, like I date a female farmer, so like she would agree with you too. And she's about 5 foot nothing, and she's hardy. She can flip bales of hay.
I think the shorter they are, the fucking better they are. Like, because they're of a gravity point where it's just perfect. Like, I'm a little bit, probably about half a foot too tall for my own job. Like, if I was to, be honest about it, like, if I was a little bit shorter, although my cows are quite big, so maybe it's all right. Like, but
Yes. And you actually, I was gonna ask you about the cows as well. What breed of cows do you keep?
I keep Friesians and Fleckvies.
Yeah.
Fleckvies. All of my cows were imported. You're going to be doing a lot of cutting on all of this, I'd say.
No, that's all. There's no need to cut.
But a lot of when we. No, I want to stop now.
Yeah.
Going back to the female farming thing, right? So. You can't do it all on your own. You have to. It's just, I think the whole female farming thing is when you're talking about women in farming, and like there's Dairy Women Ireland, and you have the Mocker side of things and all of that. it's like you have farmerette was an old word. You have farm her, which I quite like, and you have just farmer. And I think the word farmer is the word that should be used for a woman who's farming.
I think it's a unisex type word anyway.
It
to be
is,
honest.
and just the strength part of it really is the only cutback
That's the only cutback.
on being a woman in farming.
Yeah.
You know?
Because you often, and I always said that about women in farming, is you guys work smarter rather than harder like us.
Yeah.
Like you would say to yourself,
yeah.
I'm going to get this and do this to make that.
Yeah.
Or you'd get a certain machine that makes the job easier or whatever.
Yeah.
Whereas you'd have some pig like myself who's like, oh, just drag it around.
Yeah,
Do you know?
But like like everything is built for a man, because even the mineral buckets are 20 kg.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The bags are 25 kg.
Yeah.
I think.
They are.
Some of mine are 25 kg anyway.
A fertiliser bag is 50 kg.
Yeah, well, no thanks.
Yeah.
But I don't. I wouldn't have a clue what that
I
is.
remember being in ag college and we had to do the, do you know, your health and safety handling, manual handling.
Yeah.
And one of the things was to lift a bag of fertiliser, you know.
Yeah.
And the instructor, I remember him saying to one of the girls, he goes, oh no, you don't need to do that. We have a bag of, a very small bag of something else there. She goes,
yeah.
what are you on about?
Yeah.
She just caught it, and I mean picked it clean from the ground to her shoulder, which some of the lads couldn't do. And he just went,
but like, that's great crack.
But she was used to doing it.
Yeah, but I ended up, when I started off farming after about 3 years, I had to prolapse disc.
Yeah.
And I had to have an operation on that. And ever since I've been told, if you lose the use of your bowel or your end up wetting yourself, straight into A&E. Because that's a possibility for me after, like.
Yeah.
But
you only get one back, like.
You only get one back, so, and you only get one life, like, with your back. So you have to just know your limits.
It's not simple from that perspective, but here's another interesting question on the back of, I suppose, being a female farmer. You had gone into finance and you obviously met your husband and you had began having a family. Do you think, had you just gone straight from school to taking over the farm at home, that would have been as easy to find love, make a family with the time restrictions and stuff of having a farm?
No.
No.
No, because it takes over your life. Farming takes over your life. Like, even my own kids would be like, get out.
Yeah.
Go and do something.
Yeah.
Come back.
Yeah.
That's it. And no different to what I did when I was starting, when I finished with work and started on the farm. I proved myself for about 3 or 4 years on the farm before we started the farm partnership.
Yeah.
And then went in full. Hell-ho.
Yeah.
Like, they'll have to do the same.
Yeah.
I disagree with the whole idea and the pressure of a mother and a father putting pressure on their child and the expectation of taking over the farm.
Yeah.
That is not my mindset, not my husband's mindset, because I won't let him have that mindset.
Yeah.
And they go off, do something for themselves, then go into the farm if they want to and prove themselves. My thoughts are they could be 30.
Yeah.
30, nearly 35 before they'll go or realise it's actually what I want to do.
Yeah.
Very
And
much
it's
so.
it's an acknowledged decision then at that point.
Yeah, but you better make it before 35, because then the tax purposes behind that then would be a lot easier.
Yes. But
You
this
know
is where
what
a
I
lot of young people, like, and I know, like, so I'm 32 now.
Yeah.
A lot of the lads I went to ag college with, like, I went to ag college 2011, 2012. A lot of the lads still haven't taken over at home. I was young when I went to college, so a lot of the boys were coming up on 33, 34, 35. They still haven't done that handover process, the lads and the girls.
Yeah.
They're tied to it. They mightn't be solely benefiting from the
You know whose
financial
fault
side.
that is?
But this is what I'm about to get to.
Good.
So they're not getting paid. They're devoting all their time to the farm. They're not profiting from the farm. They've no decision in the farm. And yet at the same time, they haven't managed to go off and create a life or meet somebody, build a house, because they've gone from spending the last maybe 15 years to nearly not existing. Because if you live at home on the farm, you basically don't exist to the tax man and things like that. Daddy gives you a bit of pocket money every week, whatever the case may be. You might have your own calves or sheep, but they're going through the main farm account. And I think talking to some of my friends now, they're having a kind of a, oh fuck, wake up moment as to, like, I'm basically starting from dot. I may as well just be coming out of school, taking over the farm now.
Yeah. It costs the farm or the father or the mother who are running and owning that farm nothing.
Yeah.
To allow for their child who has now decided to work on that farm full time anything.
Yeah.
If anything, it's cost beneficial to them.
It is, yeah. It should
And
be
that
done
child
sooner.
doesn't exist, like you say
Yeah.
there. They can't go off and fucking build their own house. They can't find
do
a
that.
mortgage. They don't exist because they don't have a pay slip.
No.
You know, you can't get a mortgage unless there's 2 years worth of savings.
Yeah.
You can't go off and buy a house or build a house without 2 years of existence at least on some pay slip.
It's sad, like.
And, you know, they look for the whole lot, the whole kit and caboodle is the word I think it is. You know, not just your pay slip because you're working in the farm. They look for the whole farm's fucking backlog of tax returns and everything else.
I even see with my own job, like obviously I'm at the tyre, so I'm in our yards every day. I'd have to go in, maybe I go into your yard, imagine, and your young lad, imagine, was doing all the work, but you're the boss. And I go in and I say, Jesus, that tyre's ripped, you're going to need a tyre. Oh, I have to ring Mammy and see, is that okay?
Yeah.
But I'm having this with lads in their 40s.
Oh, God.
And it's men and women in their 40s, and I'm like, I know you're here every day of the week, you're the one doing all the work, but that they have the checkbook.
Yeah.
And I feel bad for them.
Yeah.
Because it must be very frustrating. I suppose in a way it was kind of what led me to my own decision to go off and buy a bit of land. I'm not saying that I was taking over my uncles or anything like that. I used to work with them. That was it. But I suppose a lot of people grow up with the idea that, you know, they're living on a prayer that somehow an uncle or auntie might pass away and leave them a farm or something. But my dad, I remember him sitting me down, he goes, don't ever fall into that trap.
Yeah.
He goes, if it's not on paper, it's not happening.
Yeah, it's not even
So he said,
a trap, it's an assumption.
It's an assumption.
Yeah.
He said, go off and build your own life.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's happened to all these, as I said, these people I went to college with or people I met from Mockra, and they're all having that realization, shit, we're in our 30s now.
Yeah.
Now's the time to build life, and I don't exist. I haven't the leverage to do anything.
Yeah. That's a shit or get off the gate moment where you have to, like, I'm a generation ahead of you, which is fucking depressing. And then the next generation behind you is somewhere there at the moment. And then the next generation younger is my son's generation.
Yeah.
And he's 20, right? I'm not going to say he's 21 yet. Another fucking few days. But he is given, he's working on the farm for the summer, okay?
Yeah.
He's out there in the morning, out there in the evening. That's the only reason I'm here at the moment.
Yeah.
Long story short, my husband hasn't been well for a long time, okay?
Yeah.
And I can't bank on him anymore.
It's all right, take a drink. And I suppose we'd go into as well, Maria, what I want to ask you is, what could be done for the older farmers? If you imagine your parents' generation were alive now, and imagine you were the age you are now, and you still hadn't taken over fully, what do you think should be done with the older generation to make them hurry on?
It's not the older generation, it's the younger generation that hold the key. The older generation, like my son now, I was saying, he's given, like, ring the vet.
Yeah.
Or, you know, if you see something that's wrong, you know the money is there, get the fucking thing fixed.
Yes.
So make the phone call. He might know who to ring, let's say.
Yeah, okay.
Give him the number, he'll ring. That's it.
So you've given him that responsibility.
all of that, those responsibilities.
Brilliant.
Believe it or not, the 20-year-olds of today are afraid to pick up a phone and talk to somebody. It's all email or text.
I'm aware of that.
Okay?
Yeah.
So they have to be given that responsibility. They have the power in their hands to make a decision. So if they're 30, your age, whatever, and they're on the verge of becoming to the point of where they're like, okay, I either exist or I don't exist, they hold the key. In other words, they turn around to the parents and they say, you either want me here to take it over or you don't.
Yeah.
You make a decision because I'll leave.
And what do you think? See, there's a very interesting question, and I know from one of the lads that was, he was a year below me in the college, and he made that acknowledged decision, and apparently his dad rang him back 5 years later, but only because he got sick.
Yeah, there you go.
Everyone has a big wise up when they get sick. And they ended up in, you know, something he's happy and everything's ran right, and thankfully his father's still alive with him today as well, and a great asset to him. But it's like, do they leave until their needs are met? Or do they hang on to that prayer? Like you're saying, leave.
No, well, I mean, fuck it, it's up to them whether they leave or not. But if they go to the parents and say, look, do you want me to take it on or not?
Yeah.
You know, you need to make the decision now. Money is a great
Incentive.
So, like, there's nothing to stop that child from going off to an advisor of some sort and getting advice and getting it down on paper.
Yeah.
And like I said to you there, if that child goes beyond 35, the tax
It's crippling.
benefits are gone.
It's crippling.
So it's kind of
And the grants.
it's a good thing and a bad thing. But in this scenario, the revenue and the government and all of that, whatever you think of them, have forced the situation that a child has to be given some fucking ownership.
They have actually made...
At that point.
They have tried to do this. Like, you know, that's the reason anyone went to ag college, was to get a reduction in the likes of inheritance tax, or even for me when I was purchasing my own land, there was a slight discount basically because I had the course done and stuff like that, which is obviously hugely beneficial. And the grant systems, I think if there was more disparity in the amounts before you're 35 and after 35, and I'm not hating on anyone who's over 35, but I think if it was even greater again, that the older farmers would have to wake up and go, geez, we're losing out on a massive amount here. Because like we know that the female farmer grants carry on even after you go over 35. Am I right? They still get 40? Somebody only told me this lately that...
I think so.
That even for a farmer such as yourself over 35, that you're still eligible for the 40%.
Yeah.
Versus a man of your age wouldn't be eligible for the 40, which is good too. Like, I understand the benefits of it.
Yeah.
But let's say if that was for a young female farmer or a young male farmer, it was 45, 50%. You have a way greater incentive for the older farmer.
I don't know enough about it now to agree with you.
Yeah.
Because, you know, technically...
And I'm sure the organic grants probably work out differently.
The organic grants are massive.
Yeah.
You know, you're talking about, I think it's an 80% grant on... Like, I don't buy machinery.
Yeah.
Unless there's a grant behind it. You know, like I didn't buy the mulcher, I didn't buy the
of course,
fucking slurry spreader, or I didn't, you know, get anything on the farm without a grant backing it, or the same with a shed or anything else.
Yeah, yeah.
It's life.
Well, it's there, use it.
Yeah, exactly.
Why not?
And just use it. It's there to help you farm.
I remember when they told me go hop, I went and applied it. Obviously, you've seen I'd done all the Clipex fencing. Right. And then after I was told it was 2 acres too small.
Oh my God, you kidding?
So that was quite a bill to bite.
Stop it.
But what do you do?
No.
But
I know, that's bitter.
But at the end of the day, I could never hate it, because I was like, do you know what, fuck it, the place is done.
Yeah, it's done
forever.
That's it, you know, that's exactly it.
And have that mindset that every evening you go home from work, everything's where it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And nobody's escaped and nobody's broken in, more than point. Do you know?
That's why I refuse to get goats and sheep.
Yeah. Oh no, whatever about the sheep, but the goats, forget about it. You want fencing like Jurassic Park.
We have a goat coming down there, like there's a boreen, I like to call it.
Yeah, boreen.
The locals call it the road or avenue. Yeah. Anyway, it's boring because it's got grass right down the middle of it, and a goat, we call it. I don't know how old this goat is. It's been there since the children were babies and we moved down to the house and the farm, and it's still alive, so it must be at least 30. I don't fucking know.
I remember my grandfather. Now he wasn't well as he got older, but I remember him telling me like there was a lot of wild goats knocking around Ireland one time.
Yeah,
a lot of them, proper big puck goats.
Yeah.
Just knocking around.
And this fella, we meet him on the road, and anybody who comes to visit us meets the goat, and there's a phone call. Yeah. It's like, it's the best gate you could ever have. She's like, how do I get this goat? It's not going to leave the middle of the road. And I'm like, just run at him. Be fine. Drive at him. Be grand.
People have hit him. He's fine.
Yeah, he's fine. Look at the leg in him.
But I think that was a great little run through there. And as I said, we were just doing a brief little chat here for YouTube. And I want to say to people, we're going in over to Patreon now. I'm going to ask you some other questions.
That's where all the truth comes out.
That's where all the truth comes out. So, folks, if you want to see the rest of my conversation here with Maria, get over to Patreon. In the meantime of that, get over to Instagram and check out Laois Organic. You'll see Maria out hugging her cows and giving out about the government, maybe.
No, I won't be.
No, never.
No, never bite the hand that feeds you.
Yeah, exactly. But so get over to Patreon now. Check out this part 2 of this episode. So, thank you.
Thank you.